We will look forward to that.
Yes, we will. Now, this morning we were talking to William about his problems he's had with cannabis, and we asked for your calls, and we've had so many in this morning.
William's mum's here as well,
Deborah
Sarah,
here.
who's a counsellor on this. And first of all, Deborah, good one for you. Jane from Birmingham says, I'm concerned about my 14-year-old son. I've found traces of dried green bits along with Rizla papers and lighters in his room. He says he doesn't smoke it and that he's looked after it for a friend. I've no idea what to do. We've had many confrontations and I've just asked for the truth, but he maintains he doesn't do it. What was your experience of this?
Sounds like exactly that he is smoking skunk cannabis, the lighters, the Rizla papers, etc. And certainly what we did, and I wish I'd done it earlier, was absolutely zero tolerance on drugs in the household. So he must not bring drugs into the house.
Yes, but that wouldn't have stopped you having them elsewhere.
No, it wouldn't.
So what's your opinion of you know, there's only so many things mum and dads can do, so
start,
zero tolerance, it's a start?
Yeah, it's all about kind of honesty and openness. I think if you are confronting him about it, it's kind of the wrong way to do it. I think if you kind of go softly and let him know that you're not judging him, but that you need the truth because you care about him a lot, and obviously you can use me as a case study, as a precedent for things that can go badly with this drug. So.
And I think also talk to the school as well, because very often, as Will was just saying, that's where they're getting the cannabis. So I would say to Jane, has she actually talked to the school about this? And don't be afraid to actually go into schools as well, because a lot of them are in denial, or they just don't know what to do very often.
Yeah. But
Can I just say something? I think it is very important, as William said, to keep the channels of communication open, but I also think it's very important for parents to set boundaries with their young people about what is acceptable and unacceptable behaviour. If a young person is bringing cannabis into your house, no matter who it's for, they're still actually bringing an illegal substance into your house.
But Sarah,
for starters, you mean to go on?
Yeah,
but what about the government? Daniel from Surrey. Daniel says he's for it, and he says, look, the government should concentrate more on alcohol and tobacco. Put together these two products and they kill thousands of people each year. Thousands use cannabis in moderation without any problems. If a minority develop problem, chances are they develop a problem anyhow, he's saying.
The thing is that a campaign like Frank, and certainly the work that I'm doing with talking about cannabis, helping families and preventive education, is actually the focus, I think, should be on children. You know, if adults actually are going to be smoking stuff, then fine, but their brains are formed. Brains don't mature until they're in their mid-20s, so if you can stay off anything like that until mid-20s, obviously you're doing yourself a favour.
And is there evidence, Sarah, medical evidence, that it is affecting young people, you know, with psychosis and affecting their behaviour?
Yes, the scientific evidence is very clear now, and I think in the next 10 years we will build up a body of evidence, then we will look back, and if we don't take action now, if young people don't educate themselves about the substance and if parents don't educate themselves,
some people believe, contrary to you, Claire Cheshire, I mean, I'm no advocate of drugs at all, but these people say, Claire Cheshire, she says, I have been a smoker of cannabis for the better part of 10 years and it has saved my life. That's a heck of a thing to say. She says, I used to drink excessively, I had anger management problems, it solved these for me with no repercussions and it didn't affect my college education. They believe that.
She's jolly lucky, I'd say.
As an addictions counsellor, I would say to her, there are much healthier ways that you can look at your issues and deal with things like anger management. You don't have to turn to a substance to deal with issues like that. And the fact that she used that phrase, "saved my life," that was set on a warning bell.
Could I ask, incidentally, William, because I have no idea, how much does it cost? How much would you end up paying for what you call a spliff?
Well, a spliff, I'm not sure about. About 3 grams of skunk is about £20. So you work upwards from there. So you could, and at £20, that would probably last you. In today's market, probably last you about a day. So it can actually, it's becoming more and more expensive
But you ended up stealing from your mum, from your
I was stealing from whoever, it wasn't just
my
parents. It really wasn't. And my moral guidelines became very, very blurred once more and more.
One for you, Sarah, Deborah. We've got Jane in Oxford. Morning, Jane. She said, my son's been taking cannabis for over 20 years. My home gets smashed up when he's run out and I can't help him. I'm at my wit's end. You had this with William and William smashed up your house.
Absolutely. Well, it's obvious what I'm going to say, isn't it? He has got to be excluded from the home because actually this lady's putting herself at risk here. So, but she's going to need some support to to
But who's going
to look after him out there?
That's harsh. I need to help him. I need to keep him near me.
Well, is that working, I would say? Is keeping him near you, is that actually working? And if he's trashing the place...
But did you not worry, if I send him off, which you did, William said, that's it, no more, that who's looking after him?
Well,
is he stealing more to
well,
get
what we did
drugs?
with Will, we helped him live independently. We helped him set up in a flat for him. So I know not a lot of people can do... Not everybody wants to be able to do that.
Do you agree with that? that exclusion?
Tough love is really difficult, but you can love somebody to death. You know, this is an illness of denial, and if you
Gosh,
don't...
that's an expression, isn't it? Love someone to death.
So true, then.
If you don't set boundaries with people, they will keep using, and they will keep using. People have denial, and they don't. It's a mental illness. They don't realise what they're doing to themselves. The only way they start to realise is if the people around them do tough love, set boundaries. That's when they know.
But do you exclude them with a condition? Like, you out of here, if you can prove to me that you're not taking this drug, then you can come back.
Yeah, it's not
And I think if you can help them live independently, that's what I always say to parents that ring us. Because actually, just to throw them out on the street, you then don't sleep yourself. And we've got parents who ring us who actually made themselves ill themselves.
But William, what got you off? What, each day, what keeps you going?
I think it is baby steps, and as you say, I am in recovery, so I'm taking things very, very slowly. I kind of use... I went to the Priory. I had a number of, you know, therapy-type things that I went to since the age of 16, 17. So I kind of remember the lessons that I learned. But I realised that once I was in isolation, you know, I didn't see my parents for 2 years, I didn't see my family for 2 years, I lost friends and girlfriends around me. As that kind of happened, I realised that I needed to be able to live without cannabis in my own world. And then from that, I'm now building slowly forward. So I've realised that I'm very comfortable without, and so each week is very much just living without.
So if there are young people, it's half term this week. A lot of young people watching this morning who their friends might be doing this, they might be under pressure. You said peer pressure. What would you say to any young people watching who think, oh, it's all right, just have a little smoke, I'll be fine?
Yeah, well, and there'll be a large demographic of people who will just say, you know what, I haven't got a problem with this, it's actually beneficial. Some of these say that. But as I've said before, you know, every person's relationship with this is very, very different, and the effects can be very, very subtle. And as I say, I'm saying that I've recognised it, and it is actually true. It can happen. And if you recognise the same kind of symptoms, or your parents do, or you're having the same kind of troubles that I am...
Well, keep going, keep it very briefly.
I've put a load of really good help and support information onto your website, places that people out there who think they may have a problem can go. And I write an article for the Recovery Network. People can phone, can message me, and I will answer their questions.
Sarah, thanks so much for that, because that's where we want to point people now. The website there, it's all there. It is itv.com/this morning. Folks, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Cool. And keep up the good work. It's good to see you looking so well. OK, still to come today, Graham's getting stranger. Gary's back from the dead, and a wild child hits the Dales. All the latest.